Hello, welcome back, and thanks for joining if you're new. I can't believe that it's fast approaching the fall and the summer gardening season is almost over. This cushaw right here was hanging from one of my trellises and it was getting quite big, and I was concerned that it was going to separate from the vine, so I went ahead and removed that. When I weighed this particular cushaw, it ended up being over 12 pounds, so I'm glad I did remove it before it fell and burst open. With the way my garden was producing, every fruit counts, and I didn't want that to fall. Moving over to the remains of the blackberry patch, this was very productive for me this season. I was very happy with my second year harvest because blackberries fruit the first time the second year, but it looks pretty badly now. In mid-August, so last year I tried to plant beets and turnips and radish at the beginning of August and they did abysmally. So this year I planted mid-August for my turnips, beets, and radish, and this is what they looked like at the beginning. I originally started with two small patches and they came up within about 7 to 10 days, so they sprouted pretty quickly. Since it was so humid, I was concerned for them, but towards the end of the month, this is what the patches look like. This particular patch is in the shade currently, so I'm hoping that they don't get too leggy and do make it once these vines die back. But on the other side of the trellis, they're doing pretty well. I was able to get a good amount of growth and I ended up expanding the patch of turnips and beets that I actually planted. Moving over to the strawberry patch, which I'm trying to move from the ground to the raised beds, I did lose some more strawberries, but I am taking the runners. I was going to snap them off, but I am taking the runners and moving them. I hadn't done much of an update on my ginger and turmeric because there really wasn't much to update because I thought they were dying back. They did make a comeback and they're doing pretty well, but I don't believe I'm going to get much of a harvest in time for my season since they started to bounce back in mid-July. I might have to move these indoor, but I'll check on them when the season is fully over. And then that brings me finally to the nasturtium that I planted. 4 plants ended up coming up and I'm just putting some straw down to protect these plants as they go through the end of the season. I do hope I have enough time for these to bloom. I'm unsure, but the plan is to just let them grow and see what happens. And that's a quick update, a kind of hodgepodge of what's going on in the garden. Thanks for sticking with me to the end, and as always, thank you so much for watching.